In today's video tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate a quick and easy Halloween cake design. We're going to be decorating this 6-inch double barrel cake with chocolate spiders. Okay, so I'm starting off with a spider web on top of our frosted cake. I have frosted this cake with orange buttercream, and this is our Classic Vanilla Recipe. And it's crusted, and so I was able to smooth it with the Viva Paper Towel Method. Now we're going back in with some buttercream that has been tinted with Americolor Super Black. I have a tip 3 on the end, and so we'll just do a gigantic spider web on top. So just touch down and kind of hover the piping tip above the surface of the cake. Okay, so I piped my first line at the halfway point. Now I've turned it so I can do another line at the halfway point this way. Oops, I got a little break. Okay, so, and then we'll do another crisscross here and here. Let's do one right here. So whenever you're piping your straight lines, just try to keep the pressure steady. And I've just got it slightly lifted above the surface of the cake. My web is centered, but it's completely up to you if you want to try to make it exactly in the center of your cake or not. Okay, so now we're going to add all of our little connecting lines, and for that, it's just going to be a little, almost like a little rainbow motion. Okay, and again, and you can make these as close together as you'd like. I think mine will be pretty close together. And I just release the pressure when I get to the connecting line. Okay, so I'm going to continue this pattern all the way around, and we'll meet back in just a minute. Okay, so I'm on my last row. Okay, so now I'm going in to add the border, and my border is going to be a bead border in black, and this is a piping tip size 4, but 3 or 4 is fine. Any small round piping tip will be fine. So we'll do one row of the black beads, and then we'll go in and sort of stack another 1 or 2 borders on top of this. Okay, so with the bead border, you're going to go slightly up and back down again, and then release the pressure. And we have a video tutorial on this also. The amount of pressure and also the distance between the surface of the icing and your piping tip when you go up is going to determine just how big your beads are going to be. Okay, so I'm going to take this all the way around, and we'll meet back in just a few minutes. Okay, so now that I've made it all the way around with my black bead border, I'm going in just as a little optional step, but I'm adding a dot of white buttercream in between each bead, just for a little fun detail. So next I'm going in with an orange bead border, and the only difference here is I'm sort of going to try to stagger my beads so that they fit together with the bead border beneath it. So where 2 little beads come together, that's where I'm going to start. Okay, so we're going to carry this all the way around, and we'll meet back in just a few minutes. Okay, so now I'm using some buttercream that's been tinted with electric green, Americolor, and this is a Wilton 104 petal tip. The fat end of the tip is down, thin end is up, and we're going to make ruffles all the way around the cake. And so I'm going in, see this is how the opening is, and I'm just going to hold it so that opening is parallel. Okay, so I'm just going in and I pull it slightly out when I want it to ruffle, and I give it a little extra squeeze. I would just recommend, if you haven't done much with ruffles in the past, just practice on a sheet of wax paper first. But we've met up with the start, and that's it. So we've made it all the way around. Okay, so now we are going to pipe some chocolate spiders. This is just some candy melts that we've melted in the microwave. And you can see I've put it in a disposable piping bag with the tip snipped off. So it's just a small little opening. So we're gonna pipe our legs using this template. You may not need a template. You can see these are the simplest looking spiders ever. But anyway, I just have that there just in case. I am not gonna be using all of these spiders, but I'm just gonna make a few extra just in case so that way I have a choice. So I'm gonna start by just piping in the middle. And that's where either an M&M or a junior mint will go eventually, depending on the size spider. I'm trying to pipe so that the legs are fairly thick. If they're super thin, they'll be a little more fragile. Oops, that leg's a little bumpy. Okay, I'm just gonna add an M&M to the middle, and we'll just move on down the line. Okay. So if you would rather work with buttercream, you can just pipe directly onto the cake. I just wanted to show you this chocolate option. It gives you the choice or the look of having your spiders slightly raised once they're chilled. Okay, a little M&M for the body. And let me do one big one on camera, and then I'll finish the rest off camera. I like working with candy melts because after they're piped, you just chill them for about 5 minutes and they're ready to go. Okay, I'll put that in the center. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a few more spiders off camera and we'll meet back after I've chilled these. These are gonna chill for about 5 minutes. Okay, so I have just removed these little spiders from the freezer and the tray is cold. I have it elevated on something because our countertop is so warm. Anyway, I'm gonna do some quick eyes, and for that I'm just gonna use my buttercream piping tip, which is a tip 2. And we'll just pipe 2 little circles of buttercream. These are gonna have sort of googly eyes, not scary spiders at all. I'll go ahead and do it for all of them. These would make really cute cupcake toppers also. Okay, so I'm using sugar pearls.
I can't see it. Got it.
Okay. I'm using sugar pearls to finish off the eyes for the little iris, but of course you could just pipe black if you'd rather do that, a little dot of black. This was just kind of quick and easy. Okay, so we have moved the cake to this cute little spiderweb pedestal that we have. And now I'm going to draw 3 lines of spider webs at different lengths. I think the longest will be in the middle. So let me see if I can make a good straight line. And then maybe a little shorter one right here. And one last one here, sort of medium size. I'm just gonna add a little dot of orange. Oops, that has crusted, so it might break off. There. So this is gonna be our glue, but also it's slightly raised, and that's gonna give our spiders a little bit more dimension, which will be cute. Okay, so I'm just gonna decide which one for the middle. I have to be careful since the eyes are buttercream. I don't want to smear it, so I'm trying not to touch that. Let's give it a press down. And I can see a little bit of orange, but I can clean that up with a little paintbrush. And then we'll go into the next one. One thing I also wanted to mention, if you have trouble piping a straight line, you can make these wavy or loopy, whatever works best for you and your decorating style. Okay, I think these are really cute and fun. If the spiders are at room temperature, they're a lot more likely to break. And so just keep that in mind. If it's time to place them on the cake and they feel like they're room temperature, just pop them in the freezer for 5 or 10 minutes. And that will make them a lot easier to hold. Okay, so our cake is finished. I think it turned out really cute. I love the little spiders. And this would be a perfect, simple design for a Halloween party. If you enjoyed it, we'll see you next time.